How's it going, ladies and Bruce's? I'm Bobby Sixkilla and welcome back to Sekimeiya. We made a choice in the last episode, I believe. Yeah, we made a choice about whether we're going to find Sai or not, and I'm not sure how that's playing out at this stage, but it may not be well. I guess we'll find out shortly. I hope. Noise came from the lobby. Without a doubt, the time had come. The police rushed in and found everyone sitting in the event room. They were hastily taken outside and put in a police car. Without hesitation, Ashiya released a public statement. Nothing had been taken. Everything is safe, including the Sekimeiya. However, word began to circulate in the underworld. Ashiya are lying. They do not have the Sekimeiya. We do. We referred to Shin. The more that rumour extended, the more it strengthened, as Shin continually stated that they were in possession of the Sekimeiya. The general consensus of the appearance is bright, pure white and shaped like an egg. However, notice that Ashiya haven't shown the Sekimeiya since the incident. Why do you think they haven't? It was a very fair question, which led everyone to be certain that once again, Shin had outsmarted Ashiya. Nonetheless, a new question shortly arose. Is Shin going to prove it? Weeks had gone by. Petitions to show the Sekimeiya bombarded Ashiya, but reaching Shin wasn't as simple. Yet after the initial statements, neither party had proven their ownership of the Sekimeiya, and from one point onward, the Sekimeiya had become a myth. Neither Ashiya nor Shin spoke again about the incredibly valuable gemstone they'd once claimed to possess. Only a handful of people were known to have witnessed the Sekimeiya by themselves during the time they'd been locked in Ashiya Tower. However, after being talked to, none of them had valuable information to share. And still, many people thought they knew the truth. Many people thought that something must have happened during the 12 hours they'd spent shut away with the mysterious Sekimeiya, whose whereabouts were unknown. After all, something must in fact have happened. Something that had caused the disappearance of a female staff member who wouldn't ever be seen again. Now you mean we were right at the end when I wrapped the last one up? Altered dichotomy. We were right at the end when I wrapped the last one up. A bad end, presumably. Alright, I guess we're going to take the other choice then. Guess I should have kept recording for 2 minutes. In that case, let's go and find Sai. Alright, let's go. I stood up slowly so that I didn't lose my balance. I waited a few seconds for my blood pressure to adjust, and opened my eyes once the dizziness had faded. I'm sorry, I can go alone. No, don't worry. I forced a yawn before walking to the hallway, where all the doors were closed. I'm pretty sure he didn't come back at least. Atsuki opened the other bedroom. Katai was lying on the bed while Akito was further back, sitting on the floor. As soon as they heard us, they faced us reflexively. Is Sai up top? What? No, he isn't. Is he not with you? No, that's what we thought. I'm pretty sure he went down. What the hell's that idiot doing? Annoyed, Katai stood up, followed by Akito. Behind us, we heard another sound. Did anything happen? Edina was peeking down from the hatch of the other bedroom. Isla immediately appeared behind her, looking sleepy. Sai really doesn't want to leave us be. He's taking this as a joke. What could he want though? Does he not realize being alone could be dangerous? I don't think he trusted Atsuki's search. He might have wanted to verify it himself. I can't believe that kid. He's stepping over every line. Are you two coming as well? I'd rather that than stay alone. We should have all been in the same room. I'll go to the bathroom first. Right about that. He was the one who had allowed Sai to leave, but nobody said anything else until we got to the crystal floor. The center of the building had adopted a sinister aura, one that I can only tolerate as long as I wasn't alone. What? You'll smell this too, right? Yeah, it's stronger here. Immediately something else became clear. Sai had been there. A few doors in hallway A hadn't been closed. The same applied to hallway B, although not as many. Is he in any of them? Can you hear him? There was no sound to be perceived. As I'd said, it was very possible he'd want to search through the floors, unable to believe Atsuki. Akito entered the cleaning room, while Atsuki and Katai walked up to the closest crystal rooms. I didn't have it in me to look anywhere, so I stayed behind with Edina and Isla. Everyone seemed tired, stressed and burned out. I no longer cared a single bit about what Sai could have been doing. I waited passively until the three of them returned from the rooms they'd entered. However, when Katai came out of room B6, I questioned my vision again. I wasn't hallucinating. Even though his outfit was white as well, I could see that he was holding the Sekimeiya, making little to no contrast. What the hell? This thing is seriously burning. He looked to be in pain, even though his long sleeves are acting as protection for his skin. Oh, what? Was it there? Yes. It was just stashed inside one of the cabinets. What? How come it wasn't found before then? I have no clue. I don't either. Atsuki appeared sincerely confused when it had been him who'd guaranteed the entire floor had been empty. Suddenly it was confirmed the Sekimeiya hadn't been taken out of the tower. It didn't come as a revelation. I never managed to believe it anyway. I need to leave this thing somewhere. He indicated for us to hurry into the event room. Anticipating his request, I took the keys out of my purse, failing to remember if the cabinet should have been locked or not. You scared the fuck out of me. Holy shit, what the fuck are you doing? You almost hit me with the door. Don't you think that's a better question for you? What are you doing? I'm doing absolutely nothing. We turned to Katai, who hadn't interrupted us. He was perplexed, staring at his empty hands. What's up with you? Where's the Sekimeiya? What? I have no... It disappeared. I legitimately felt it disappear. Excuse me? It disappeared from my hands just as Arcado opened the door. I was holding it. Whoa, what? Where is it? It was in one of the cabinets. Where was it, sorry? Did it just vanish? That's what we thought could have happened earlier, right? Sai spun and looked at the cabinet covered by the curtain. Then, he looked all around the room with a slight frown. I was also moderately puzzled. Katai couldn't have been lying. He didn't have the Sekimeiya. It wasn't on the floor, and he couldn't have hidden it anywhere without us seeing it. Did it teleport away just like that? Is that it? Katai stretched his hands, still appearing slightly pained. Sai, answer this first. What were you doing here? What do you think I was doing? Searching for the Sekimeiya? Do you think I was crazy for doubting Atsuki now? I didn't lie though. I really didn't find the Sekimeiya when I looked for it. Well, it's great that you say that. Where the fuck is it now? Can it just be anywhere? It shouldn't be the case, right? If it actually disappeared from the mechanical room, it must have appeared in the cabinet where Katai found it. That's not a random place. So I walked to the single cabinet in the room and uncovered the curtain. All we saw was a crimson cushion with nothing on it. Oh, can you tell that the smell disappeared too? Yeah, it did. Everyone smelled the air and realized that Edna was right. It might be gone. Did it disappear along with the Sekimeiya? I don't know if I can notice it anymore, or if my brain is playing a trick on me. At least it is at least less noticeable, and yes, you and Sai weren't there, but Atsuki said a while ago that the smell might have been coming from the Sekimeiya. Huh, how bizarre. Are we supposed to look for it now? What the hell? At least we know not to let Atsuki do it. Couldn't have teleported to one of its previous Hey, what the fuck happened here? Atsuki was looking at the end of the hallway, where the elevator was. What is it? We had to take one more step to see what had rightfully caught his attention. What? Who did this? The metallic panel with the elevator button had been ripped off. While Katai looked enraged, the rest was speechless. We'd been in hallway C, instance earlier. Naomi, it can't be right. She's not here anymore. She's not here? Are you still trusting Atsuki? I didn't lie. Go ahead and look for it. Why would she take it off? It must have been so that we can't call the elevator, right? But how? How? By unscrewing it, I suppose. This is just done now. If the idea is to make us unable to use the elevator, it must have been done upstairs too. You'll walk down from the attic, right? Maybe it's happening as we speak. So I ran up the stairs, as the person we were up against could have been in reach. Are you serious? What the hell is this? Up to the 6th floor, every panel had been taken off. We just walked down through every floor, so it was undoubtable that it had happened very recently. I'm not even sure about what I said earlier. Has the smell really faded away? I think it's still here. Oh, give me the key. Wait, we didn't lock it, did we? What? You're right. I forgot to tell you to lock it because I was annoyed Side left. Well, someone's definitely in there, then. Is it time to have a talk with Naomi? I wonder if she knows we can enter. I took the keys out of my purse and unlocked the door. A dark staircase appeared, challenging us to climb it. I was the first to open the door to the living room. Excuse me? What's wrong? Just look at the floor. I glanced down, and so did Atsuki. As Side pointed out, there was one major inconsistency. Are our footprints gone? If you walked down, you definitely went across the carpet. These few aren't recent at all. Marked on the floor, traces of old footprints were discernible. but they couldn't be compared to all the ones we must have left before leaving. This is impossible, right? Those marks couldn't have been erased. You're right, I don't see my footprints anywhere. This goes way beyond me. We need to find whoever removed the panels, and now. We dashed to the hallway, but something grabbed our attention immediately. It's even been taken off here. What the? Katai came from the kitchen and looked at the ridiculous scene. Why the hell would anyone do this? We can still access every floor. I was thinking the purpose could have somehow been to prevent us from entering the attic. It doesn't make sense if the panel was removed here as well. Naomi could be here. Let's make sure we aren't missing it. Most of us waited in the hallway while Atsuki, Arcado and Sai inspected every room. Nobody's here. He's right this time. She's just somewhere downstairs there. There's one place we definitely need to check. The storeroom. I'll see if the door was open. Sekimeiya disappeared out of nowhere, but who knows what else happened with that. Your footprints were erased from the living room. Everything was getting more ridiculous. Somehow the Sekimeiya hadn't been the primary layer of my thoughts, but that had to change. We had to figure out what we're in the middle of. Atsuki went to the living room. The screwdriver I saw earlier is still in one of the drawers. Also, am I the only one who feels like it's a little cold? Cold? Nobody else seemed to relate. Exposure to the outside air had chilled my bones early in the morning, and the tower couldn't seem to warm me up well, so I hadn't noticed any change. I guess it's just me. You planning to search the whole tower again? Don't think we'll take your word for it this time. After disregarding him, Atsuki walked to the staircase. I followed behind him, intrigued. I want to look at the time. Oh, why don't you ask Sai? I looked at his wristwatch and it said 1:44. I want to look at the computers though. I see. Do you know what could have happened with the footprints? That's so weird. No. Not at all, really. I think looking at the time could be an indicator though. And regarding the elevator, I'm just as confused as everyone. I have no idea why anyone would want to make it so that we can't call it. It seems like nobody's following us. What if it was done to keep the Sekimeiya inside the elevator, for example? That's a flawed idea, since to accomplish it, they'd have to stop the elevator between the floors and then touch the Sekimeiya. This way though, it'd be stuck inside, as even with the buttons, it couldn't be called. And even if it could be called, with the buttons, to use them, they'd have to be retrievable from somewhere. This means that the Sekimeiya would simply be hidden there instead. He sounded a little disconcerted. When he went quiet, he stayed that way, looking to be deep in thought until we were on the crystal floor. I want to see if the BIOS time matches Sai's wristwatch. Whoops. What? It's locked. Locked? Only Katai has the key for this door, right? Yes, Naomi won't be able to enter the attic, but as far as we know, only Katai's key could have locked this one. Actually, no, remember what happened? I found the key in one of the staircases when we came here, but the door was unlocked to begin with. Then Katai said that his key, which he left in one of the drawers inside, wasn't there. We assumed it was the same one, but maybe that was wrong. Maybe there were two keys and one belonged to another employee. I doubt it though, since it felt to me like Katai was scanning the floor for something. That's how I found the key in the first place. So, the computer doesn't work. We can't do anything in the security room, but look at the time through the BIOS, and it was locked after we figured that out. It might have been done to hide the time from us. No matter which key was used, anyone could have done it. Katai left the key in the drawer, and we all saw that. It should have been as easy as going to pick it up. We don't know how long the door's been locked for though. I can't try to find a reason behind this when our fucking footprints disappeared from the attic. Irritated, he walked to the storeroom. As he reached the door, Sai came down the stairs. Have you let Naomi free already? I haven't entered the room yet. Then hurry up. Did we leave the movable wall in place? No, I don't think we did. Amazing. Sai demonstrated how to get it open, and the hidden portion of the room stretched before our eyes. It's gone. What is? The handle? You know what I'm talking about, the door was open. Should we even trust you? Yes, the door was open. And what that means is that whoever removed the buttons must either be Naomi or the culprit who can open this door. That's why believing you right now isn't very smart. I don't know what your deal is. You left the attic without saying anything, and the elevator buttons were taken off as soon as we followed you. We don't even know what this mark of yours on the door is. You could be lying about it to make us think someone else entered the tower and is responsible for what happened. Thank you for openly voicing your suspicion, but turn around now, both of you. Why? So that I can leave the same mark in case it opens again. That's all we can do. Maybe we should always stay outside the storeroom. Go ahead, I won't do it until you turn around. You face hallway B. Are you stupid? You can't just turn around again. You can just turn around again in a split second. Just go away. I sighed and left. Outside, Arcado, Editor, and Isla were walking down the stairs. Is Sai here? Yes, he says the door was open. Oh, it was. I just put another mark on it. Really? We looked through every floor on the way down. We didn't find anyone. I didn't foolishly doubt my memories, but if that was true, only the crystal floor remained. Where's Katai? I believe he stayed in the attic. Are you serious? Why would you leave him alone? Do you remember he's very likely working with Naomi? He might have just re-entered the tower? If every other floor was looked through, unless she's already gone, there's only this one left. Sekimeiya has to be found as well. Atsuki entered room A4. We saw him opening up the cabinets and inspecting their interiors. Does he think we'll believe him? As if a recording of the past were replaying. While we stared in silence, Atsuki kept silently moving. The doors. They're all closed. Wait, you're right. I left some of them open, didn't I? Oh yes, some of them were open. Honestly, I feel they might have already been like this when we got out of the event room. We could only be dumbfounded as we followed Atsuki's mesmerizing movements. Something had happened around us, but it felt absurd to think that we could know what. Atsuki backtracked toward the elevator and entered the room with the missing gems. The second time Atsuki came out of a room, he had the Sekimeiya between his hands. It had been in room A5. Oh shit, where was it? Like Katai said, inside a cabinet. Is that where it teleported to? Hold on, is this normal? Katai said it was burning when he was holding it, and it was hot when I had it too. No, it's not though. Maybe it's not going to do anything if you touch it now. You could try it. I'd rather not. Let's leave it in the cabinet. Can I touch it? What? That's not safe, Isla. But now it should be fine, right? Issa had been fairly quiet the entire time we'd been trapped, but I could see that some of her unease had receded. She was just a girl who wanted to see an exhibit. I'm sorry, but I think touching it could be a pretty bad idea. It's, your mum's right. Okay. She seemed a bit disappointed but gave up. Atsuki was free to go to the event room, so we all entered after him. The cabinet's not locked. After scrolling open the glass, he placed the Sekimeiya inside and shut it again. Once the glass separated them, Atsuki stood without facing us. We awkwardly waited behind him, thinking he had something to say, but all he ultimately did was lock the cabinet manually. Katai's there. We looked through the door and saw him by the stairs, looking lost. Here you are. We found the Sekimeiya in that room. It's in the cabinet now. Oh, that's good. It didn't disappear this time? No, and I have a question. Where's the key to the security room? That one? I left it in the drawer next to the computer. You all saw it. That's what I thought. The security room is locked. Locked? How do you know? Because I couldn't open the door? But when I got here, you were in front of the storeroom. Does that mean you already tried to open the security room? Why was that your priority? So I walked to the door and confirmed that it couldn't be opened. I wanted to look at the time. I thought that maybe the computer had started working again. Because our footprints disappeared? I'm not sure I follow that logic. Anyway, it's 1:50. Wait just a minute. Why would the security room be locked? Anyone could have taken the key from the drawer, as you said. We all saw where you left it. What if someone's hiding inside? Naomi. Mind coming out? I can't see anything through these gaps, but I mean, Katai's got a point. Why would anyone lock this room? The computer doesn't work, so unless it was done to prevent us from fixing it, I can't think of much else. There aren't many more rooms to lock yourself up in. I can think of the bathrooms and bedrooms, but I'm sure you'd feel much more secure behind this sturdy door. That's a good point, actually. We haven't had a chance to talk to the outside world at all in this run. In the first run, we talked to the policeman outside. Wait, is the policeman we found dead the same one that we talked to outside? What the hell do we do then? Sekimeiya's in the cabinet, so unless it teleports itself to the security room, if anyone stays inside, they'll have to come out eventually. Wait, is it me or are we very stupid? Likely you. I just thought that the elevator would work as a place to hide in as well, but we haven't even tried to open it on every floor. Even though we can't call it, as long as it's not stuck between two floors, we should be able to open the door of the floor it's on. As expected, it's you. I tried that when I came down and got no doors open. We haven't though, at least not on this floor. You're right. I saw you in front of the storeroom and it slipped my mind. And the elevator should be here, right? Were we the last ones to use it? If so, we got off on this floor. As Atsuki gripped the handle, I noticed that the door was closed. He left it open to disable the elevator before searching through the higher floors. When he tugged on it, the door didn't move. There's not any floor then. I suppose it could have moved. Well, I thought of this when I was walking down, so I didn't try to open it in the attic either. Did anyone? Katai, Arcado, and Edina all shook their heads. Isla? No, I didn't. It would make sense if it was left there since the attic was locked. It didn't occur to us to open it because the button had been removed as well. Huh, maybe we are stupid. I think it's very likely it is there. I have no idea what the purpose of this was, but we can access every floor, meaning that even though it doesn't make a ton of sense, the reason behind removing all the panels could have been to hide something in the elevator. As we were going up the stairs, we noticed Arcado staring at the wires coming out of the wall. What's up? I was just thinking that we should still be able to call the elevator if we cross two of these wires together. Katai, do you know what each wire is for? No, but it's not gonna... Katai cut himself off, and at that moment his look changed. This elevator underwent maintenance a few times. We installed the stop button in case Shin ever intended to use it for their planes, and I just remembered something the technician told me. The elevator measures the resistance in the panel. If the circuit is open or the resistance isn't correct, the other lines are deactivated as a safety measure. This was, of course, another measure against Shin. Crossing the wires won't work, but something is bothering me. If the intention was to disable the elevator, the culprit should have pushed the wires into the wall. But since they're sticking out, it feels like the culprit knows they're disabled. Does anyone else know about this feature? I doubt it. The technician gave me the exact details when he installed it months ago. But it was on a Sunday when the tower was closed. I have no idea who could have overheard. Arcado attempted to cross the wires, but nothing happened. This isn't normal. Katai's right. Anyone with any electrical knowledge would have pushed the wires into the wall. What was the purpose behind it? That question drove us to run back up, hoping to make sense of what was occurring. Walking up the stairs, I almost gagged at the sight of my surrounding walls. I hated that damn building, and I no longer put any effort into repressing the deep, exasperated sigh that I let out. Mule stared at the door in shock. It was locked. Someone else is certainly in this building. I left the attic just now. I took the keys out. You mean that someone locked it while we were downstairs? Weren't all the floors inspected? Maybe Atsuki was right. What if someone was in the elevator and got out as soon as I left? The inner buttons should still work. I inserted the bronze key into the keyhole and turned it counterclockwise. Huh? I can't unlock it. What? How's that possible? He took the key and tried it himself. It won't open. Flustered, everyone gave it a shot, but the outcome didn't change. The key wasn't affecting the lock. Katai, show us what you have on yourself. This has been long overdue. What? Can you stop with that? You were the last to leave the attic, and I have more than one reason to believe you might still have the key to enter it. Go ahead and show us that you don't. After a disappointed look, he conceded and showed us the contents of all his pockets. Then, Sai inspected him more closely and confirmed he wasn't hiding anything else. In one of Katai's deep pockets, 2 keys were found, which he recalled having seen in the past. According to him, they opened his locker in the staff room and the door between the first 2 floors. I hope you're content. I'm not even sure a key was used to lock this door, or else we could open it. The set of keys I had before ended up rotating back to me, so I stored it away again. This is ridiculous then. Can we not do anything? Is Naomi really in the attic? How did she keep doing this? It could easily be any person in the world since the storeroom door was open. What? It was? Yeah, I checked and my mark had disappeared. We can do one thing aside from thoroughly searching the places we can access yet again. We can try to open every elevator door. Have I not said that I've already done that? Yeah, you said you'd forgotten to check the crystal floors. But I can think of 2 reasons why that could have been a lie. 1, you want to keep the idea of checking them to yourself. 2, one of the previous doors had already opened, and you had no reason to keep checking them after that. Okay, sure. If there's currently someone in the attic, they might want to take the elevator down and back up at some point. It's not a bad idea to keep confirming that it can't be accessed. Would we hear it if we used it? If it was used? Yes, it does make an audible sound. Everyone looked defeated. With what little energy we had left, we circled around the floor. Atsuki grabbed the handle of the elevator and tried to open it. Isla! Don't look! Oh god, another corpse. In the elevator, great. My heart shrank. When Atsuki's eyes met the interior, his body became rock solid. What we saw paralyzed him on the spot, his raspy breathing the only part of him not immobilized. Who's she? Stop! Isla pulled Isla into the stairwell, crouching down and speaking to her softly. Not everyone knew that they were witnessing a sight that defied reason. However, the way the two of us looked might have told them enough. It's her. She really was here, but two bodies lay on the floor of the elevator. Buried in the back was Naomi, and next to her were all the elevator buttons and panels piled up together. Are they dead? Immediately, Atsuki crouched. He softly grabbed an arm and pressed his finger to its wrist. His own arm lost its strength and released its grip. Does he know her? I nodded. Wait, is she the girl who died a few days ago? Oh shit, it's Bea. Yes, I remember her face from the news. How do you know her? She's an old friend of ours. I almost said that, but I kept it in. Well, what the fuck? What is she doing here? So Atsuki's plan will fail? Will he manage to save her, but she'll die again? Like, what the hell is this even about? How could she have been saved? The past wasn't changed, was it? I still remember everything as it happened. I staggered forward and slowly reached for the arm that Atsuki had dropped. There was no pulse. Despite that, no part of her body indicated what had happened. Her body wasn't found, right? Oh, this is how. I bet this is what Atsuki's idea was. He was wondering whether the past could be changed or not. Without changing the past, he still had a shot at saving her by going to the 30th and taking her away before the explosion, simply because her body wasn't found. Does this mean that he'll still do it? Even though he's seen that she'll die anyway? We already verified that the past could be changed, though, so why would he do it like this? Nobody had words to interrupt the tragic scene. I stood up slowly and rubbed my eyes. There's a little blood on the back of Naomi's head, forming that puddle. That's definitely a wound. The questions didn't end there. We finally found Naomi, but she wouldn't be able to answer anything for us. I apologize for asking this, but is it possible she has a phone on her? Awaiting any response, we looked at Atsuki. Facing away, I'd assumed that he must have had some kind of focused expression, but when I glanced at it, I realized that was far from the truth. He looked broken and unresponsive all over again, forced to experience the same death a second time. Can I look? Psych, you said you tried to open this door. And I did, a few minutes ago. The elevator wasn't here. It must have been in the attic, and it was brought only one floor down so that it wasn't heard. Are we supposed to believe that? Of course, someone just locked the attic as well, right? We're still missing the person who did this. Someone killed Naomi. I have no idea what happened to this girl, but look behind Naomi's head, and the blood on the floor. Most of it is dry. She's been dead for a while. It wasn't her who we were looking for. But why would anyone kill them? How the fuck would I know? Naomi gives me the same feeling as that policeman. They could have been a threat to the culprit, but this girl? Knowing why she was killed is far from the main question. Atsuki, is this your doing? We know she died, but her body would look much worse as she'd been dead for days. Did you do something to bring her here? Surprisingly, Atsuki shook his head very slowly. No? You two know her, so there's no way her appearance isn't related to you. Someone might have entered through the storeroom, so was it her? That time there was no reaction. So I stepped forward and kneeled next to Atsuki. The first thing he did was check whether the body was truly dead. Then he went from pocket to pocket while Atsuki observed his movements. It didn't take long to confirm she wasn't holding anything. Next, he leaned forward. The spotlight wasn't on Naomi, but she might have had something important. And she did. The inspection finished with a single result, a key that she'd had in her pocket. It's the attic's. So it won't be of any use, we already have it, and the attic is still inaccessible. What the hell are you talking about? We can take the elevator up with the key. Oh, I'd completely ignored that. Also, what I said was the truth. Naomi did have another version of the keys. The others aren't here though. It's not the whole set. What if the others were separated then? We need to go to the attic. I don't know why the elevator was brought down, but the real culprit might be right above us. Wait, we can't take the elevator with them inside. At least one of us can. That's not what I mean. Should we take them out? They can't be inside an elevator until the police come. And that takes priority. Of course! She's right. They should be taken to the lobby so they're seen immediately when the door opens. Edna had gone a few stairs down with Isla, but she'd clearly been listening to every word. Isn't that irresponsible? We're disrupting the scene. Besides, they're right. Using the elevator would disrupt the scene as well, and I find it very unlikely they both died inside it. Do you agree with this, Atsuki? It looked like he nodded as he stood up. Before anyone could interfere further, he pressed the floor 1 button and stepped aside to let the door close. Then, without letting anyone see his face, he walked down the stairs. Edna seemed like she was going to say something to us, but she kept it to herself. behind her legs. Issa stared with wide eyes. And with that, we need to wrap this episode up because, damn, that was fucked up. I'm not shocked that we've found Mia in here now because we already know that that was what Atsuki's plan was, to somehow bring her back. So it's not shocking that she's here. That means he's already tried to bring her forward and fucked it up or something, or a future version of himself has tried to bring her back and fucked it up, but he's not even aware of it yet because it hasn't happened yet in his frame of reference. You know what I mean. But it's not shocking, but it is interesting. Interested to see how this goes. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Thanks again, Alfie, and I'll see you in the next one.